Hi, I'm Jim, and I was retired. I was down at the Outer Banks last week, enjoying myself on another beach. So I'm a little late with this week's video, and deciding when to record it today with the market crash was almost like trying to catch a falling knife. So rather than panic, though, I'm going to share a little humor. So let's order our recession wit. Stay tuned. Now, that title is more than just my wit. It's something I saw last week on my X feed sitting on the beach. Did you see this?
Cheesesteak with Whiz and onions.
She knows how to order. All right.
Secretary Yellen was in Philadelphia last week and stopped by South Street's Jim's Steaks for lunch. And she was doing her part to keep the economy going, ordering just like a Philadelphian cheesesteak with Whiz, cheese whiz, and onions. Now that's the right way to order it, John Kerry, not with Swiss cheese. Now, that also led me to an article I was just reading this morning, waiting for the market to open from Axios. And I'm going to go over to a screen recording to share some of that because Treasury was doing more than buying cheesesteaks to fix this economy, if you know what I mean. So today was one of those days I am glad I have a 3-bucket strategy where I'm keeping money that I need for the next 3 years in cash and equivalents, and my money that I need in the next 5 years in a mix of interest and income producing assets. And only bucket 3 is fully in the market. And so when the market crashes like this, I don't panic. I know I have a system and I'm going to stick with it. So I've been using this time just to digest the news. The FOMC met for their July meeting and, as expected, did not raise rates. But on Friday, we had a weak jobs number, which led to a slight increase in the unemployment rate. And over the weekend, the world fell apart. And this morning, we're looking at sharp pullbacks on the American exchanges. But I'm not panicking because I have my bucket system in place. Now, in terms of whether we're going to see an emergency rate cut from the FOMC, intermediate rate cuts can happen. They happened during the Great Financial Crisis. But this is not the Great Financial Crisis. So they are likely going to wait for the September meeting. In between time, later in this month, in August, they'll all be out at Jackson Hole, Wyoming for an annual conference. And it's widely expected that the next hint from Chairman Powell will come at Jackson Hole. And that'll cue up what they do in September. Now, will it be a quarter point or 50 basis points? Or will they decide more is needed? There were a lot of calls this morning for an immediate cut today. Do it quick and almost as big as you can go. 75 basis points. That's 0.75% cut in the Fed funds rate. And that call came from Jeremy Siegel, a professor emeritus of finance at the Wharton School here in the University of Pennsylvania. Now, the other article that I read this morning was the Axios markets that talked about the global markets that were all plunging based on the U.S. jobs market. We are connected. So when we have a cold, the world gets the flu. Now, the other article in the Axios this morning was the spat over how Treasury funds the government. And actually, I read this last week, too, in a couple other news sources. And I'm going to put a link to a study that's mentioned here below. Now, the Treasury is being accused of trying to juice the economy ahead of the election by changing how it finances government spending. Now, the question is what the Treasury folks are doing on deciding how much short-term bills versus longer-term notes and bonds they plan to offer in the coming quarter. And short-term debt is becoming a rising share of all outstanding debt, while the share of long-term debt, 10-year to 30-year bonds, is staying flat. In turn, critics say the lower supply is preventing long-term interest rates from going up. Those rates influence borrowing costs across the economy. So is Treasury doing something in its offerings, in its auctions, that is suppressing the 30-year bond, which is and the 10-year bonds, which are proxies for mortgage rates, by the way? Are they doing something to artificially keep those down and the short-term rates up? Now, others suggest that this is the case. Two former Treasury advisors, prominent economists, Nouriel Roubini and Stephen Miron, wrote a paper. And I actually saw this last week and was going to mention it somehow in this week's video too. And this is it. ATI, activist Treasury issuance, and the tug of war over monetary policy. And I'll do the too long, don't read summary of it. They're basically arguing that Treasury is influencing what is offered in long and short-term rates, and in so doing, it's the equivalent of about a point. We calculate that the ATI has reduced 10-year yields over the last year by roughly 0.25%, providing similar stimulus to a 1-point cut in the Fed funds rate, which is the Fed's primary policy tool. So if Treasury is doing something in the Treasury auctions to do an equivalent of a 1-point Fed funds cut, then that's a lot. And that means they're working against the FOMC's decision to keep rates restrictive. Now, they also caution that if the ATI is unwound by terming out $1 trillion in excess bills, then we expect a temporary boost in 10-year yields by 50 basis points before settling into a permanent 30 basis point increase in long-term rates, with corresponding price changes for these risk assets. So if it's not unwound and becomes a permanently employed policy tool, that's a fiscal policy that's influencing monetary policy. I'm not sure we want to go there. And finally, I saw this on my X feed last week too. Now, this is really from May 2023, but it popped up a lot last week, and I'm not sure why.
President, what'd you get? So, I don't know, do you know music? Okay, so, first of all, Charlie Mingus, really one of the greatest jazz performers ever. One of my favorite albums of all time. Roy Ayers, Everybody Loves Sunshine, you know this one? It's so good. It's a classic. And then Porgy and Bess, right? And this is a beautiful one. It's Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. So there you go. That's all. Thanks, guys.
Well, I guess she ran out to the record store because her political advisors told her she had to run on a record. And she was just doing her part to keep the economy going too, I guess. I will conclude with my standard warning. I am not a professional planner. I have no initials after my name, so take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one.